Oscar, if you can share your perspective, how the innovation is linked with the growth.
What is innovation and how is it defined? It is not just about doing things in a more complex way or in a new way, but actually making you more competitive, and that usually means doing more with less and using resources better. And the same thing with growth. In its essence, it is about creating more value in the marketplace that is transacted. I think this is often lost in buzzwords when you talk about innovation, that it's simply a new, more complex way of doing things, and there's going to be value delivered at the end of the road. But at some point, innovation needs to lead to more business and profits. And I think from a country perspective, this is very important to keep in mind, but also for organizations.
Now, this execution, like we picked up, the innovation is not about the technology. Innovation is about the mindset and the culture which it's nurtured. So, Oscar, the question for you, and you are an author for the book at the same time, how this culture and organization design as an organization or at a country level, how that culture or design can help us to innovate and execute?
Well, I think that being aware of what the obstacles to innovation is very important, because there's always risk with change. Innovation always requires change. And who is incentivized to take this risk? It's rarely the people at the top, and even in organizations broadly, the ones that are suggesting it will be suggesting change that may not benefit those at the top. It's not random that the most innovative companies tend to be small startups.
So we are talking about understanding the obstacle and the beneficiary of status quo there.
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
And then that's where we have to start working on to create a culture which can help us execute.
And this is extremely difficult in large organizations, because the status quo, it's highly incentivized to keep that status quo.
And I'm sure that that's applicable to the country level at the same time. So if the obstacle are incentivizing some people, so that's also become the same structure.
I think there's a very good expression that goes, the obstacle is the way and the obstacle is the opportunity, because that's where you can innovate.
Yeah.
I mean, where organizations have obstacles, you have an opportunity to jump in that space and be competitive.
Thank you, Oscar. Any one top recommendation how innovation can be embedded within the country or in the culture, or maybe what you feel is the top priority we should look at this stage? One, very quick one. Oscar.
Education, to a large extent, is learning how to think, and how to think about innovation is being open to change, being open to diversity, and also, to a large extent, innovation is about discipline. It's not just about knowing what is the better way of doing something, but actually sticking to it, having incremental improvements over long periods of time. That requires stamina, and I think that comes down to education as well.
I believe that you are one of the organizers of GTEx in Dubai, and I was wanting to ask you what opportunities you felt could be innovators for growth for Pakistani executives and companies that might want to consider being at GTEx, which is a huge event. If you could perhaps just say what might be beneficial.
I think Dubai is such a great opportunity for Pakistan to find collaboration and opportunities across all sectors, and this is what GTEx is about, to work both with private companies and with governments across all of the Gulf and the wider MENA region, and not just in technology, but also in creative economies, where we will, I think there's with technology as well, with entertainment, there's a lot of growth opportunities, and of course a lot of innovation that spills over across all sectors.